I'm from a crazy town with about 12 blocks. From Monson to 2nd Street, we letting off shots. Matter of fact, the last mud drop died in the OV at 9th Street, homie, where mud killers creep at ease. Even though you see us everywhere, smoking ocean grown cannabis, smell it in the air. Creeping in our zone, it's best you hold your own. Fuck a perras from the no to my town, get tag toes with a filero or get smoked like a leño. We point them straps while mutts point dedos, just like them parmeros from that cheese I read Lee. Back then with some mares I was putting in work, G. Some punk huelga tried to run up and I cracked his ass with a rock to his face, then he collapsed. Then we stomped out another buster in his lawn. The other two ran inside and came out with their mom. Embarrassment, they were screaming, snort their siren.
One of the issues of Orange Cove is the housing and renting. If we truly look of how many apartment complexes here are in Orange Cove, we have about 11. We have 11 apartment complexes throughout Orange Cove. Now, these apartment complexes are more towards the outside of town, not more towards the middle, but that doesn't mean it does not lower the property value of those around it. Now, we have around 6 apartment complexes that are close together. We have the South Cove Apartments, we have the Orangewood Plaza, we have Citizen Guards Apartments, and we have the Orchard Village Apartments, and the Mountain View Apartments. Those are all in one area. This truly affects Orange Cove and those houses that are behind it.
So who are we? Alessandro Gomez, and I'm a student of Orange Cove High School. You live in Orange Cove? Yeah, I live in Orange Cove. Okay. You live in an apartment or you live in a home? I live in an apartment. Okay. With the multiple apartment complexes here in town and not a lot of housing, do you think that you guys paying rent has affected you guys instead of paying mortgage? I feel like, in my opinion, it's better to pay mortgage because knowing you will later on get ownership of a house. As an apartment, you keep on paying and you don't own anything to your name. So in my opinion, I would say it's better to pay mortgage. Do you think that OC has a big struggle with building these homes because they keep on building these apartment complexes because they can hold more units and this overall just generates more money? Yeah, I agree on that. I feel like Orange Cove targets building more complexes for apartments rather than houses, since they can make a bigger profit. But this is also this is bad for the community as it lowers property value with all the complexes, and it also allows less people to own houses as there's not as much being made. And with so limited jobs here in Orange Cove, because we only have just liquor stores, just little stores here in town, do you think the job market as well affects Orange Cove? In my opinion, I would say there's not many job opportunities. It's either you go to a packing house or you work in the field. So I feel like that also goes back to the housing. With bad jobs, you don't really get an opportunity to finance for a house. So that would be a problem. So do you think that Orange Cove not having these houses and not having these resources to the people of Orange Cove are keeping their citizens down? Yeah, I could see that they're definitely holding their people down and back, since, well, there's not many good jobs, so that doesn't really build a good future with owning a house.
Who are we doing?
My name is Chris.
And you're a student here at Orange Cove?
Yeah, I'm a student and I also live in Orange Cove.
Alright. So you live in Orange Cove, right?
Yeah.
So what's your opinion on what you think is the biggest issue here in Orange Cove?
One of the biggest issues that I can say that Orange Cove has is probably the rise of gang violence and the rise of fast food.
And in your opinion, would you say it's like idolized?
Gang violence is very idolized here in Orange Cove due to it just being the whole culture here in Orange Cove. When people think about Orange Cove, they think about fights, think about Sureños, Bulldogs, Norteños, and all of this, but no one really truly sees the good side of Orange Cove, and that's what it's pretty messed up about Orange Cove, that how none of us all of us are seen as gang members, and truly, we're all hardworking people. Most of us.
Another question I have is, do you have any family members that are like jumped into that life?
Yeah, some of my uncles, some of my cousins too. Not my cousins, yeah, some of my cousins are jumped in. They all being swing. Yeah.
Who we here with?
Carlos.
And where you from?
Orange Cove.
And how's life like in Orange Cove?
It's alright. It's not the best, but it's alright. There's violence everywhere. Every day in the news you hear someone getting shot or something happening with criminals or gang-related violence.
And are you affected by these gang members or any? Are you affected by it?
Yes, I'm scared for my life.
Why you say that?
I fear for my safety, for my family, for my dog.
Who we here with?
Officer McNair with the Orange Cove Police Department.
And how long you been with the OCPD?
I've been with Orange Cove Police Department for 9 months.
Okay. Would you say that Orange Cove is mostly active during the night with like crimes, or is it more active during the day?
I would say they're both equally as active, but if we had to just choose one shift, it would probably be the night shift. The night shift is usually more proactive, but it's not saying that the day shift isn't proactive. We are proactive as well. So it just depends on what's going on. It doesn't really matter necessarily if it's night or day.
And then with you being with OCPD for the past 9 months, throughout those 9 months of you being here, what has crime been like in Orange Cove?
Crime in Orange Cove, just a few shootings. So we've had like 3 or 4 shootings since I've been here the last 9 months. So, and usually the shootings come down to like gangs. So I just think Orange Cove is a small city, but one of the major issues is going to be gangs, and that just seems like it's what it's. Before I got here and after I leave here, it's going to be probably gang issues here. So,
Do you think with the rise of gangs being idolized, with the fast money, with the cars, with all of this, and with the younger generation being exposed to this, do you think with the lack of role models in Orange Cove, that's what's really hurting the community and the safety here in Orange Cove?
for the up and coming youth, it could be definitely an issue. Like you're saying, it could be a problem. Lack of role models, possibly. Just being around the young guys, you know, you guys your age and stuff, being around that gang activity, you know, that's where you grow up knowing. At your guys' age, you might go possibly down that route as well. So it's definitely an influencing factor. And you know, gangs are a tough problem, but at the end of the day, you know, we'll do our best on every shift and try to keep the city as safe as possible.
And last final question. If you had to give a message to the youth that's doing these crimes in Orange Cove, that's doing everything, what would be that message to you?
The youth that are committing these crimes, just ask yourself, like, going forward, you know, because you're young, you know, you're only 15, 16, 17, you're youthful, committing these crimes, you know, possibly part of these gangs. You know, is this stuff that you're going to look back on in 10, 20 years and be proud of? Or do you want to grow up one day and be a proud husband? Do you want to be a proud father, be a good father figure, good role model for your future kids? You know, think about when you're 20 years from now and you're having a 15-year-old son. Do you want him out there being part of gangs and committing crimes like that? You know, most likely probably not. So, you know, at the current moment, you might think it's, you know, cool, or this is what you're growing up knowing, but, you know, 10, 20 years down the line, you want to be a respectful member of society, a respectful husband and father, you know, you probably want to think twice about committing these things in the city, you know.
All right, who we here with?
Jason Gomez.
All right, and how's life like in Orange Cove?
Well, for me or for everybody else? For you, boss. Trying to fuck up? Oh, trying to mess up?
It's alright.
Hey, this is the real talk of OC, so like, just express how you feel, but if you cuss, you cuss.
What's, I don't know.
Pretty fucked up? Yeah? Would you say that Orange Cove is providing help for you, man? Like, you think Orange Cove is, like, just wanting to help you out, just get off the streets and all that?
Nah, they're trying to like fuck me around, I think.
Why do you say that? Why do you think Orange Cove's trying to?
Because I make a lot of money and shit, but I ain't getting it. So since they have possession of it, the cops or whatever, so then they're trying to keep me away from it because my criminal background, and well, they think that if I got my money and shit, well, that I'm gonna make it something like Mexico or something. like violent and shit like that, but that's not the case.
And you said that you have a criminal history, right? And how is that with getting a job here in Orange Grove? You think that it's way harder for people to land a job here due to how little markets we have here in Orange Grove?
Yeah, that and but like because of the money situation, like they brought gaslighting. Well, it's like becoming like the Middle East and shit. Because before, I would never want to talk about like Taliban and ISIS and shit because it's not really religion. It's what's happening is over there people are getting gaslit because like the oil fields and shit.
Yeah.
Well, they're not like that old. So it was people that were because they still function like in tribes and stuff.
Yeah.
So there were people that were poor, and then all of a sudden they get rich because the oil fields and stuff. But the people that have governmental jobs, they're not telling them like, hey, look, you got this money and shit now. You got to work it this way, and your duties are this and that, and stuff. So they take, they got the governmental job, so they keep the money, and then since they're doing, functioning with the oil companies and stuff. So when they, finally, if they ever do find out about the money, they already smarted them up. They gas them and shit, confuse them and stuff so they won't even want to ask about the money, And it's kind of messed up because, like. That was a couple of years ago. They got me so pissed off. I go, hey, you want it to be like the Middle East right here?
In Orange Cove, a Whopper combo could have cost around $13, but a trip to the AC market costs $20 or more for a homemade meal, which can make you feel like prices are pushing people towards fast food for convenience, even though cooking at home would give you more food overall.
All right, who are we here with?
Oh, Mr. Salinas.
All right, and what do you do, and who are you?
Okay, so I teach engineering here at Orange Cove High School, and I've been teaching here for almost 4 years.
Okay. And do you feel like you've changed many students' lives?
Oh, that's a big question. I believe so. I think people have at least experienced what engineering looks like, and hopefully by then they can at least decide whether or not they like it or not.
Has a student ever touched your heart to an extent where you're like, oh, I like this student more than this student? Not like pick and choosing, but more of like a student more.
I think, man, that's a tough question. I've been motivated by students. I've learned a lot from students, not specific students though. I think sometimes when I see them that they can have potential to do what we do in classroom, I push them a little bit so that they can discover that hidden talent that they may have.
Do you feel like you are a role model to many students?
I think so because, well, I come from the same background, same kind of neighborhood type of thing. Low income student, low income community. So I think they can picture themselves maybe at least pursuing something in either engineering or science or something related to those fields. I think we can connect because we have the same problem, same background, same thing. That's why I decided to teach, because I can connect with the students.
That's good. And one final question: since you are a teacher right here at OCHS, if you could change one thing about this school, in the environment or whatever, anything about the school, what would it be and why?
The school or the students? It's the students.
Just school,
in general?
Yes, in general, the whole school.
I believe somehow we need to have the students need to have motivation and purpose on wanting to learn. I think sometimes some students may not see the potential of learning, just learning in general, like just go and be in a classroom and be like, you know what, today I'm gonna learn, right? Instead of just kind of be focus on other things, because maybe you have problems at home and things like that. I think it's just motivation itself. If there was more motivation for the student to have on learning, it will be more meaningful as far as the learning part. That's it. All right.
Cindy Garcia.
And what do you do?
So right now I am going to Wheatley College. This is my last semester, and I did come to Orange Cove.
What were some troubles you faced transferring from high school to college?
So some troubles that I faced was balancing out my life with college, because it is definitely something different. In high school, it was more manageable, Whereas when you're in college, you have to focus more on managing your time wisely. Also, for a lot of students who do go to college, they also have to find time to work. So it's managing, personal life, work, and schoolwork as well.
Speaking about work, here in OC, we're limited to certain jobs. And how is that for being a college student and then working at the same time?
So, being a college student, it is also you're also limited to certain jobs because of how much time you have to dedicate to college. But we do have a career deployment center at Ridley College, so they help you find jobs that work with your STEM.
And do you think that you're financially stable?
So as of right now, yes, but I feel like you do have to be very careful with how you choose to spend your money, especially in college, because you do have to prioritize certain expenses over others.
And if you could give one message to future college students, what would that message be?
My message would be to so one message that I would give to future college students would be maybe just don't be scared to make decisions. I feel like a lot of people think that they have such a short amount of time to make the right decision, but in reality you still have a lot of time. So you don't have to stress about, for example, choosing the right college or not. You still have a lot of doors that are opening barely for you. So yeah, just to not stress about college. You still have a lot of time.
Who are you with?
Josiah Guerra.
Where are you from?
I'm from Orange Cove, going to Orange Cove High School.
Okay. And what do you do?
School first league. I also do track and baseball.
Okay. And would you say there's not enough youth leadership in Orange Cove?
Yeah, definitely not. We don't have junior giants anymore. We don't have any soccer leagues for the youth. We barely have AAU basketball now, OC Magic. I think Mr. Sanchez is running that. And the OC Knights with Mr. Dabolsky running that one. So there's not really many options for kids to go out and do things. They can't really be active, so they gotta find other things.
Do you think that causes more trouble in the community in Orange Cove?
Yeah, because kids being in sports keeps them out of trouble and keeps them busy. It gives them something to do, gives them something to love, gives them a little bit of purpose.
And would you say that you playing sports made you choose the right decisions in life?
Yeah, because the way I think about it is, if I have to make a decision, I say, would this affect my ability to play? And a lot of times, if it does, I usually make the right choice.
And final question, what do you think is the biggest problem that OCHS and Orange Cove has?
The biggest problem, I think a lot of problems would actually be helped, at least, would be to introduce more youth sports. Because if you look at other towns, a lot of better communities like Kingsburg and Reedley, they have a lot of youth sports, a lot of involvement. Reedley has Little League, Kingsburg has a lot of programs. Just, it's a base that we could give our youth if we had youth sports.
Thank you.